Hi, welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is a thrift haul over a few weeks. I also have a visit to an antiques market, and then I have start on my spring decor, so stay tuned. This is the Niagara Antiques Market. I have been here before. This is a great place. It's set out over one floor. It's all different rooms. They all run along into one another, but there's some great items here, and the prices are really quite good as well. I actually set out to find another antique butter dish. What it is, I had a dish that I'd got. It's actually an old cheese dish. I have had it for about 20 years. Unfortunately, it got broken, and it's a really lovely piece, and I was really quite upset that it was broken, so I thought I'll go out and find another one straight away. So that was the point of the visit. Of course, there were other items there that were very pleasing to the eye. So I'll let you have a little wander around with me. This little Beethoven's head, the bust of Beethoven, I remember having one of those years ago. I think I bought it initially from somewhere like Winners or Home Sense, and I think it was probably, maybe $5 or $6. That was $27. So I wonder sometimes where they get their prices from. This was a cute little store. It was mainly outdoor wares, and very French country looking, I think this one was, but it's really nice to see the outdoor stuff coming out. It's nice to think that hopefully it won't be too long before we'll be setting up the gardens and looking forward to spring and summer. I've had a quick look at my Easter decor, which I'll be getting out in a few weeks, a little early yet, but there were some really pretty little items here that were perfect for spring and early summer. Always on the lookout for smaller art pieces like these. These are a little bit overpriced, but they're great to use when you're doing art walls. They also had a really nice display of brass items. Again, a little overpriced, but if you need something specifically, there's a lot of stuff that they have. This was the actual butter dish that I've got now. It's a cheese dish, obviously. It's not as good as the original, but it's not a bad replacement. So here are my finds. Now, this is over probably about a month's worth of thrifting, different items that I've picked up and just kind of added them into one big thrift haul. As you can see, it's mostly for the house. There's a lot of stuff that I use, materials, as I'm always picking up materials. I always pick up trim, and this was a really good price. It's black and silver. It's really unusual. And I'm not sure, when I pick these up, I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for, but I always find something. This was a sheet. It was $1, and my granddaughter wants me to make her a Jane Austen dress, so I thought that would be perfect for that. She's a little redhead. I thought the colours would be lovely on her, and this is always a good thing to pick up, bits of material, especially sheets. If you give them a good wash, I mean, $1, you wouldn't find the material to make a dress for $1. This was another good find. This was another $1 with all the little crowns on it. Again, not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I'm sure something will come up. It's nice quality cotton, and I love the black crowns on it. They're just so cool. The underneath that is the tweed. Now this is a shawl, one of those things that you pull it over both shoulders. It's like a big oblong. I'm not sure if I'll use it as a shawl. It is very pretty. It's very Burberry-esque, but I do like the material as well. And again, I'm a big one for materials, so I always tend to pick up the materials that catch my eye when I find them. I happened upon this particular bookstore 50% off. I picked up Winnie the Pooh. This is a lovely little book. It's great for the kids. It's a classic, obviously. It's great for kids or grandkids. Beautiful illustrations in it, and it had been looked after. It's well looked after. And then I found this little box, and I looked inside, and there was the most beautiful monogrammed leather-bound Bible, and this was 50 cents. And somebody had obviously really cherished this little book. It's in its own little box. Somebody's taken the time to glue two little halves of cork to the box to stop it from moving around. Obviously you can tell it is in pristine condition, and it's like somebody's really cherished this Bible, and it's from the 1940s. So I thought, I wanted it to come home with me, and I was going to look after it and make sure that it was looked after as well as it was originally. Always pick up spoons. Serving spoons are a great find. 50 cents each for all four of these, so that was great. Always pick up handles. Antique, obviously, the better. If you remember, I picked some up at the antique market a couple of weeks ago. I got lots of brass and metal pieces. These two wall sconces, these were lovely. They're very Art Deco, I think, in the feel. Really good condition. I put them straight up. Actually, I was going to polish them up, but I thought, no, I really like the patina that they had, so those went straight on the wall in the living room and just look really nice. I also picked up this little candlestick, little brass candlestick, for 50 cents. Candle holder, I should say. That was 50 cents. I mean, really, the prices that I got in a lot of these things were just amazing. This little butter dish, this was a real find. I don't know that I'd put butter in it because of the metal. I'm just not sure what the metal is. It's silver plate, but it's in lovely condition. I love the way the mechanics of this work. It's very ornate. I'm going to use it for jewellery. I might put a little velvet pillow in there and put some pretty jewellery in the curio cabinet, but I couldn't let this one pass. This silver plated picture frame, I already have a picture in of the grandkids in that one, and that's a lovely little piece. Now this, I got, the lady threw this in when it was on the counter as I was leaving the store, and I don't know what it is, but I really like the little cherubs, so I thought if I could take the little cherubs off, I'm sure I can use them in a craft someplace. And then there was these little pair of wings with the heart, which I thought would be perfect for Valentine's Day, and that was $1. I keep saying a pound. So very, very good prices on a lot of these things. I always tend to pick these up. I find them very handy for books and pictures. There were two metal ones and a wooden one, so again 50 cents each. They're perfect. I've actually got a nice little collection now of these tapestry pictures. These were in one of the restores that I'd visited, and there was a set of 3, all the same size, different scenes on each one. So I think these were $3 each, and they go nice with the rest of the tapestries that I have on the wall in the dining room. Now, I picked up this embroidery sampler a little while ago, and I couldn't remember if I'd shown it to you. This was $1. I think it's a more modern piece, obviously, but it's very reminiscent of the antique pieces that you do tend to find when you visit these pioneer villages in one place and another, so I thought that was nice to have. This is a lovely pillow. It is paisley tapestry on the front and then a really nice quality velvet on the background, so I'm going to give that a wash and throw that on the couch. And then I found this, I'm assuming it's a table runner. It's almost like a carpet. It's just lovely. It's perfect for if you're using stuff on the table that's hot or you don't want anything to mark your table. So I'm going to be using that a lot, I think, and the colours aren't even too bad. It goes with the rest of my room. So this was the items that some of the items that I picked up from the antique mall. This was the replacement butter dish, and as I said, they are cheese dishes. I just use them for butter because the big slabs of butter, you know, when you take them out, if most butter dishes that I find are too small, whereas these are perfect for the whole slab of butter that I use. The only problem with this one is the last one that I had was very similar, but it was the shape was a little different and it had a handle on top. This actually doesn't have a handle on top. It's just like the little chimney, so I'm going to have to be careful with it, but I think I paid $22 for this, so a little more than I paid for the original, which I think I paid probably $5 or $6 for all those years ago. And at the time, I thought that was expensive, but it will certainly look after my butter for me. Hopefully, it won't get broken. Same location, I picked up this little tin. It's probably an old candy tin. Lovely condition. I figure I can use it for Easter. It's got lovely colour on it, nice little feet, so I was very pleased with that particular purchase. That was $2. I also picked up this red velvet curtain. It's only one panel, beautiful quality, $3. I'm very pleased with that. I wish it had been 2 panels. I also picked up a few little pieces of jewellery. This one I thought was very art deco. It was originally $7. I got it for $3.50 the day our local thrift store had 50% off all jewellery. This little pin was $1.50, and again, just buying it because it's pretty, it catches my eye. It's very antique looking. This is probably my favourite. This came from the antique mall. This was $8 and I just love this with the navy stones in it. This little piece, similar type of pin, this was $1.50 also, and again, nice to put in scarves or on sweaters. I do like them. Now, I found one of these clips in one area and then found another one. They are old tie clips, but I thought I could use them on a dress or shoes. Very pretty, $1.50 each. Found this little J. This turned out to be, I think, 75 cents because it was initially $1.50. And I picked up these little earrings also at the antique mall, and I think they were $4 or $6. And I like them because they're clip-ons. This little cut glass perfume bottle was something that I picked up. This ended up being 50 cents initially. It was $1. I think it was $2 for this one. The lid doesn't fit exactly, but when you get it in one particular position, it fits perfectly. So I might just glue that lid on permanently so that it doesn't get broken. And there's that lovely little collection of items that I picked up. I'd say 90% of them were 50% off. Here in Ontario, we've had some really good weather. We've hardly had any snow this winter, which is amazing. So the day that I did this, it was 16 degrees. I decided to go out and clean out the front porch, take down my Christmas decorations. I normally wait until early February because we have a lot of snow and it's still very wintry. None of my decorations are overly Christmassy. As you can see, it's holly and ivy and then just greenery. So I wanted something to sort of mimic that look, but I didn't want any bows, no fuss, and I didn't want full floral. So I picked up this wreath. It was $2 and I really liked the greenery on it, and I thought, well, I'll take all the little bits off it, and I've left with this just a green wreath. And then I thought, okay, it's a perfect base for almost like a wildflower look. So I went to the dollar store and picked up, I think I got 369. I got triplicates of 3, so 3 with the little yellow flowers on, three with the purple flowers on, and 3 with the white flowers on. I also got these ivy and like a greenery, almost like a rope. And then I went through my own stash and picked out some little spring flowers. So what I did was I wanted it to look very casual, and I didn't, like I said, I don't want bows, I don't want Easter eggs and anything kitschy. I just wanted it to look very natural and just a little bit of colour for the spring. So I broke all my florals apart and then I worked it through the wreath, almost fanning it out, very loosely placed in, not pushed all the way down, so it was almost hanging off the wreath. And I did it in groups of 3. So I took my purples, distributed those in one area, then I did the yellows, then I did the whites, and then copied this all the way around the wreath. So I have all the florals in place. I'm going to go around afterwards, flip it over, and then glue all the little stems in place, just so that nothing really falls out. Should a big gust of wind come, or people passing by and bashing into it as they're coming in and out of the door. All good intentions. When I started this, as I said, it was 16 degrees out, and I had the best of intentions. I was going to put the lights up. My new lights had a lighting plan. I was going to make a new number sign for the door, but when I finished it, it was -3, so I think I'll be doing that next week. In the meantime, I had pulled out of my stash this little garland. It was $2.49 initially, and I thought it's got beautiful spring colours on it, and it almost looks like little Easter eggs on the little branches. So I pulled it all apart, stretched it all out, pulled off some of the little pieces to add into my wreath. So I added those in all the way around, glued those in, so that there was a connection between the wreath on the door and the garland that will be going around the front door. Again, nothing over the top. It does have like little buttons sewn into it, which are really cute, and I just wanted to mimic the same colour patterns in each of them. I did wrap this garland in 3 ropes of greenery, glued it down so that it would stay put, and then placed it around the front door, so that I did mimic that kind of. I'd seen a picture on Pinterest, and I think I'm going to try and achieve that next week and I'm going to finish this all off properly. But I just wanted to show you what I'd done, just to update the front door and bring a little spring into the house. When I initially took the floral picks apart, I'd kept some of the flowers, knowing that I was going to be adding them into this garland. So once I'd wrapped them all up in their greenery and their ivy, I then went back in with the glue gun and just stuck some little sprigs of the same flowers in the wreath into the garland. So as like I said, the same elements were in both. I then also add an extra piece of this greenery. It's the ivy, and I just went back and just stuck in little tendrils so that it would hang nicely as it was up around the door. So it was almost like real ivy, you know, the way it sort of hangs out on its own little tendrils as they grow. I realised as I was adding these flowers in, it was very haphazard, very loose. There was no rhyme or reason to the way I was decorating it. I was trying to make it symmetrical, but I needed to get the centre point so that once I got up on the ladder and I knew where my point was to put it in the centre of the door. So I took my two little purple flowers, marked my centre and sort of put them one each side so that once I was up on the ladder, I knew roughly where it was going to be so that it hung equally on both sides. Roughly my inspiration piece. It's just a wildflower wreath, and you can see it's not the same obviously, but it's very similar. It's very casual, and this was kind of what I was looking for the wreath to go. I'd like to have had it all the way around the door, but I achieved a somewhat of a similar look. So next week I'm going to be finishing off this front porch makeover. I'm going to be making a new street name and number. I'm going to be doing something with this part. I've got an idea for the lighting, and I think I'm going to be painting the front porch. So I hope you enjoyed that quick start to my spring decor, and we'll see you next week.